She had what people called a perfect body, but her face didn't meet society's beauty standards. Her name was Kitarō. The only place she could be accepted was online, where she could hide behind carefully edited photos. She'd spend up to 8 hours editing her photos, building a beautiful identity on social media. But back in the real world, people still called her ugly, even when she stood quietly in the distance, admiring the most popular boy in school. A girl named Annie would purposely shove her down. But what really broke her was when even the delivery guy insulted her appearance. Even kids walking past her house would shout that she looked worse than a dog. One day, Kitarō finally snapped. She screamed at her mom, "Why did you make me so ugly?" Then she ran out, full of despair. Her cries drew the attention of an old woman. The woman brought Kitarō to her home. She told her there was a way to become beautiful. Seeing Kitarō's doubt, the woman tore off her own face. Underneath was a beautiful, youthful appearance. She was a yokai, an operabo. She explained the price of beauty. She had to eat a special tempura, a piece of meat with a human soul trapped inside. It looked disgusting, but remembering all the humiliation, Kitarō ate it without another thought. The transformation was witnessed by a greedy yokai named Ratman. He saw a new money-making opportunity. The next day, Kitarō returned to school. Boys suddenly flocked to ask her out, but when they realized she was the same Kitarō they'd bullied, everyone fell silent in shock. For the first time, she felt the thrill of being desired. Even walking down the street, a famous director offered her a movie role. Even the school heartthrob came up to her, but he said, "Looks aren't everything. You didn't need to change." His words cut her deep. After a lifetime of bullying for being ugly, she knew exactly how much looks mattered. Annie, who also liked the heartthrob, was boiling with jealousy. Ratman saw his chance and approached Annie. He sold her the Naparabo's face swap procedure. For $200,000, she could be as beautiful as Kitarō. Blinded by envy, Annie agreed, but she didn't know that transformation had a side effect. Days later, Kitarō's features began to fade. She rushed out in panic and bumped into a classmate. Word reached Kitarō, a supernatural hunter. Kitarō took Kitarō and Annie to the Naparabo's home. There, they learned the truth. The face swap meant stripping away their original faces and grafting on skin taken from the dead. The Naparabo showed them a chest full of faces she had collected over years. She admitted she, too, was once hurt because of her looks. That's why she helped others like Kitarō change their faces. They could have their old faces back anytime. Annie was already naturally pretty. For her, the new face was just an upgrade, so she took her original face back without hesitation. But Kitarō, having tasted the privileges of beauty, refused to return to a life of being despised. She abandoned her original face and fled. Outside, the boy she liked saw her. He stopped her and apologized for what he'd said. He claimed he'd fallen for Kitarō and said he loved her for who she was inside. Kitarō wanted to believe him, so she showed him her featureless face. The boy was so terrified, he fell to the ground. In that moment, Kitarō understood. He, too, only cared about the beautiful face. So here's what I want to say. Maybe being ordinary isn't wrong, but being ugly will always be an excuse for some people to hurt others. If you were Kitarō, if you could, would you even want to be your old self again?